Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Farmer Nash. Today we have a very, very special episode. One of the Axie Infinity Builders Program video games. We have Axie DOLL, standing for Defenders of Lunacian Land. So go ahead. I have the co-founder here with me. Please introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about your game and everything that people should know about you.
Hey everybody, my name is Diyo, Diyo Trianto. You can find me on Twitter. I'm one of the co-founders for Axie DOLL, Defenders of Lunacian Land. We are one of the first batch for Axie Builders program that has been accepted. And then our game is just a very fun and casual game that we really want to focus more on for everybody to able to play the game, right? So it's easy to pick up game, but it's hopefully it's a challenging enough and master. You need to master it to in order to play that. So even my 7 years old are playing the game, and and my wife, which is non-gamers, are also playing the game. So it's about a survival game. Is the way the game is just you need to survive as much as you can by just dodging, you just moving things, right? So all these skills that we have is automatically activated. So you just need to focus on your movement and stuff like that. So it's very easy to pick up. And we are very glad that we're here. We're very excited. Thank you for Farmer Nash for having us on here. Excited to talk to you guys.
Yeah, of course, Tio. Happy to have you. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about the actual Axie Infinity Builders program. So you are one in basically the first cohort, which is the first group of people to make a game on Ronin, and it is Axie Infinity themed. So is there a lot of kind of weight on your shoulders knowing that you're kind of directly following the largest video game in Web3 even to date? Is this something that is kind of in the back of your mind?
Right. It's I don't see it as a pressure kind of thing. It's just something that you really that I don't know. I'm just coming from a community, and I'm a gamer with Axie Infinity. Just being with them having this kind of Axie Builders program. They launched this back in January, I think. For me, it was just I'm so excited that I want to do something about it, because I know that I have the capability to execute the game development side, and then hopefully it's a fun game and addicting game. So for me, it's just one of the biggest, maybe the biggest IP in Web3, Axie Infinity. They're letting other independent developers to just build a product for them using their IP, right? So it's huge step for me. I'm coming from way back in Blizzard and Warcraft area, as you know. That's how Dota was born, basically. Just some independent developer, they come up with a new game modes, and then it picks up from there. So it has that kind of vibe for me for Axie Builders program. They supported that. Not only they supported that, they give this grant. So it's they're trying to grow the ecosystem. So really glad that when I talked to Philip and Zima, who was, they're more focused on the builders program. They kind of support us in any way, right? In technically, and then guidance and all that stuff. So for me, I'm just too excited to have this program in Axie Infinity. And then when I talk to Philip and all that, and then when I get accepted, I'm just overwhelmed with what I'm going to do for the next few months. So I kind of forgot about how big it is. I just want to build. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I have a few questions about that actually. So how was the process to actually get into the builders program? Because I'm sure it wasn't easy. There was a lot of submissions, there was a lot of competition. So,
All
you
right.
being one of the first people chosen, what was the
Right.
vetting process like? Was it a lot of pressure? Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So they have this. You can go to their website and you can submit your proposal. Of course, you gotta create your game design document or a light paper or whatever, and then submit it to them, right? But I'm gonna share you my trade secret only for you.
Ooh, we're getting some alpha already. Okay.
No. It's actually just it's I don't know. For me, it's a it's a simple thing. So what I did is, what I know that everybody going to submit game design document, right? People gonna come up with a unique presentation, PDF or what, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So I know everybody gonna create that, and it's true. They mentioned that they receive almost, I think they received 1,000 of application,
Oh my. Wow.
and only 12 that has been accepted on the first cohort. So I'm pretty excited about that. But my trade secret would be, I know that everybody will send in the PDF and screenshot. What I did is, on top of that, I created what do you call it? I created a small prototype of what I'm
Oh,
trying to do.
okay.
So I know that when if I submitted that, I put in that more effort, it will just kind of, it will stand out compared to the other application. And it turns out it takes me more than, so I think I submit my proposal back in April or something like that. So it took me like 2 or 3 months, because most of the time was just me finding my co-founders in a game developer. So
It's tough.
that
You
takes
got to find the right
times.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as you know, I talk about this a few times, that basically I approach a lot of Web2 game developers, and then, only a small number of people that wants to talk to me. So,
Yeah.
but I'm really happy that I found Patrick from from Poland. He's Polish, and yeah, and then we just hit it off from the from the start, from the get go. Yeah, basically just, we know that everybody going to submit this PDF game design, but I just want to be I just want to be
So you
different from
really
the rest.
stood out because you actually built, let's say, a minimum viable product or a prototype,
Not
something
even
like
that,
that.
not even a minimum viable product. It's just like a prototype, that it's not a, they cannot play the game yet, it's not playable, it's just rough idea, but it's in, it's a,
Oh, okay.
it's, but it is a very, very, not even an alpha, it's just kind of prototype for the game kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So can you tell me how closely did you work with, let's say, the faces that the average person might know? You know, Jiho, Ziori, Psych Out, Trung, Masamune. How closely did you work with them? Did you talk to them? Anything like that?
Before AxieCon, we don't have no, we don't for the course. I don't we don't I don't I haven't talked to them yet for the course. But before AxieCon, I talked to Ziori just for preparing the AxieCon and stuff like that. But I mostly for the Axie Builders program, Philip La is the lead on that. So we talk regularly, and Zima is also on the he's our handler for the Builders program. So I talk with Philip and Zima most of the time before the Axicon. And this is for me, I think one of the great experience is just attending Axicon, not to expect anything, is just meeting the course, and then having their response, and then having them more in the, just meeting them in person is just a great experience, right? And as you know, we had a great response from Trung himself playing our game during AxieCon.
The
So,
CEO and founder
oh,
of Axie, for anyone that doesn't know, Trung. And then also he mentioned Philip. He's some type of game lead. He worked on Pokemon Go, I believe. So both very respected people, not only in
oh
Web
yeah,
3 and Web 2. So go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
yeah, yeah. So just meeting the core, Saikao, Jiho, and but I think one of the, I mean, at least for me, or the one that who stood out for me during AxieCon was Trung. He was on day one. He was trying our game, and then he spent almost an hour in our booth just playing our game. Keep dying. Yeah, you know, he wants more. He wants more.
That's
That
great.
was just the highlight for us. Yeah, yeah, and yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that felt great just watching like the founder or co-founder of Axie Infinity just keep playing your game, and I'm sure he was so happy to see that. That's not really something that like his core team made. That's, I'm not gonna say community because at this point you're a little more than the community, but something that his product, like you're a byproduct of that, which is I'm sure really awesome for him to see. And it's an awesome game. I recommend everyone go try it out too. It's super easy
Thank
to
you.
play.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
what is it like working under Philip? What kind of guy is he like? Is he a very strict because he has a lot of accolades in the space? Is he more chillaxed? How is it working with him?
I really enjoyed it. It's just I know that he is much, have this much of experience. I think he is a VP in Sky Mavis now in terms of he's leading the builders program, he's leading the land also,
He's doing a
land
lot.
game. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's the, I think, yeah. Yeah, working, I mean, for me, I loved it. And we have a lot, we it's a regular for me to have a conversation with him, just discussing this, discussing that. And then actually his I'm bouncing a lot of ideas to him, and then he has this experience on, give me the guideline, give me, like, it's really great because for me it's an honor to just have the opportunity to work with him, Zima, Dewick, and any other Sky Mavis person, because I know they're coming from a really good background. So
Yeah.
basically, if you have a good, yeah, just be, yeah, it's just an honor to work with the smart people, so you can, like, learn from them. And actually, he's one of the people that when I bounced the idea of creating this kind of sidekick for Axie in Doll, he's one of those people that really, from the get go, he's really green lighted it, and he's really supporting in that. So really thankful for that.
Yeah, and I'm like, one thing that's important about that is that was probably a big deal because that was the first, to my understanding, non Axie Infinity thing that was
Yes,
sold, right? So I'm sure that
I
was a
know that.
big step for them, and it was pretty hard, I'm sure, to actually get that through because they are extremely selective with who they allow to, even not only on the platform but even to sell something is crazy. So congrats on that, and you guys sold out in, I believe, 3 minutes.
3 days, 3 days.
Oh,
We
three
sold
days.
out in
Okay.
3 days. Yeah, we were so grateful on that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your actual project, right? So, Defenders of Lunacian Land. Now you have the Axies, you have a sidekick, and you have shields. Can you tell me what those three things are used for and kind of a little bit about their roles in the game?
Okay, so in order for, I mean, for now we are in open alpha stage, right? So in order for you to play doll, you have to go to our website to create an account. After that, you will need three axes, in order to play. So in our website, you can register that three axes. And in order for people to create a doll account, it's as easy just having a Ronin wallet installed in their mobile phone or in the Chrome in their browser. But we are it's a confirming process, verifying that you really own the Axie. So actually, when you connect the wallet to our website, there is no transaction at all. It's just verifying that you do own the assets, right? So after that, you register your Axie, then you can log in. When you log in, as of now, as of open alpha, we only allow a ranked play. A ranked play means that you need a shield to play, right? In order to play the ranked
So
mode.
a shield is like, it's kind of like energy, where you
Exactly.
have, let's say,
Exactly.
10 energy, and then when you play a game, you lose one until you run out for, let's say, the day
Exactly.
or something.
Exactly. Exactly. But the difference would be if you don't have shield, you cannot enter the ranked mode. And why is that? Is because in our launch version, we will have the leaderboard reward, right? From the rank play. So every time you play rank, your result will be posted in the global leaderboard, right? And then this leaderboard reward is coming from people, from a lot of people that has been spending shield on that time frame. So for instance, if we have season 0 for 1 month, every time that people spend shield, they will, everything will be pulled into a leaderboard reward at the end of the season. So the more people play rank mode, the more people burn their shield, the bigger our leaderboard reward. And of course, you will pay, or you will use SLP to purchase your shield at the launch version.
Okay, so not
Hopefully
available
that,
right now, but it will be.
no. Yes, exactly. Because right now we only on open alpha stage, so we're still in the testing phase.
Yeah.
So we kind of yeah, so the shield is kind of, there's no value for now,
So
at least.
if someone wants to try out your game, how can they get shields to play?
Okay, so they can, as is, because it's open alpha, they can register, and then they can create an account, a doll account, and then register their 3 axes. And then on the daily basis, we always do shield drops. So we only do a shield drops if you have, one, you have a doll account, two, if you already registered 3 axes. If you do that, every day we will shield drop a shield for you to play for free. And then on top of that, we have this system that's working very well for us since close alpha would be every time that you play our game, because this is a testing phase, right? It's not
Yeah,
something
it's
that,
alpha. A lot of people
right,
need to
exactly.
understand that a lot of games you don't even play in alpha, right? Web 3 it's normal, but a lot of Web 2 games you don't even know exist until beta. So a lot of people need to realize that alpha is literally a testing phase. So sorry about
Exactly.
that. Go ahead.
And we want to reward that. We
Yeah.
want to reward that. So what happened is, if they play our game and then they see some bugs, and if they take the effort to just tell us the bugs, or their feedback about the games, or their review about the games, or they come, they create a YouTube content, or a TikTok content. If they show that in our social media or in our Discord, we will grant them more shields.
Nice.
So in order, yeah, so I think that's a really nice incentive for people that, oh, I really like this game, but I really want to play more. Then they can do that, bug hunting and stuff like that. And it really worked so well, because in our close alpha, people really want shields so bad, they just kind of go bug hunting in a full mode. So they even found a small typo in our game, right? And then it's a bug. I mean, it's a small bug, but they get shields. So just love the way the community reacts and how they like the shields.
Awesome, awesome. So
And
real quick, just to sum this up for those of you that don't really understand. So you need 3 axes, right? I mean, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with doll. It's just you need to go buy 3 axes. Right now they're about $3. So technically you can play this game for, you need 3, so it's $9, and then you just make an account and you should get airdrop a shield, 1 shield per day. Is that what it is?
will be 5. Usually we do 5,
Okay,
but
so
sometimes. Mhm.
so it'll cost you about $9 to play the game. You get to pretty much play as many times as you want, up to 5 a day, maybe more if you play bugs or make content, or if you find bugs and make content.
Yes,
And
sir.
they are not directly selling the axes, right? It's it's through a secondary marketplace, so they're not directly making the money, and I think that's important for people to know. Like, it's not that you need to pay $9 every time to them. It's through the entire Sky Mavis and Axie Infinity ecosystem, which they are a part of. So please continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, thank you. And we know that in the future, hopefully in beta or in launch version, our at least what we're planning is just to have Doll to be free to play games, right?
Nice.
Because this is the best frictionless way for us to onboard more players. So for now, because it's still testing phase, we just want to make sure that people are already accustomed with axes and all that. So if they have 3 axes, so they should be able to play our games. Yeah, and the last one I think is sidekicks, right? So sidekicks, what we sold during AxieCon, you don't need sidekicks to play. It's just like sidekicks. Just basically for now, it's only cosmetic. They will follow you around in game, and they are uniquely generated. So there's a lot of unique one out there. But down, what's unique about Psychic would be, we're hoping to be the first NFT in Ronin to be minted outside from Sky Mavis. So
That'd be pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much. And from the get go, we told we tell everybody who's willing to buy our sidekick that it's only cosmetic for now, but we will experiment on the utility of sidekicks, right? But we don't want promise anything. So it's cosmetic for now. If you're happy with that, you will be happy of what we have,
Smart.
what we plan exactly. So we will experiment, like, I don't know, the utility will be, it's it should be like something, a fun utility. For instance, they will pick up gems for you, or they will heal you a tiny bit every time you level up, or something like that. We will experiment on that. Yeah.
Awesome. So for anyone that doesn't know, for maybe the two people that here that aren't Axie Infinity players, or at least know about Axie Infinity, basically they have their own blockchain, which is called Ronin, and they are very protective on who gets to build on it and who gets to deploy things on it. So it's a very big deal that the doll team can potentially have the very first non we're gonna say native. It's not the right word, but we're gonna say the non-native NFT. It's gonna be a big deal. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your personal goals for Axie Doll? And I want to know a little bit about, how big do you think the game can actually get? Because you are kind of a subsidiary of Axie. So tell me a little bit about that.
Right. Yes. For now, we're aiming to be a really fun and addicting game for for people that they can utilize their axes in our game. So hopefully, this fun game will attract people to play, and then they can reward people that invest more time to just perfect the art of the playing doll and stuff like that. So that's where we're gonna have that leaderboard reward, and hopefully it will sustain us. It will, it has a really, hopefully it will be a good reward for, to bring people in, and then get the balls rolling from there. But the goal will be down the line. An online I'm coming from an online multiplayer kind of genre. So it'll be one of my dream, and hopefully we will get this, that to have doll, to have a multiplayer features, right? Because it'll be much more fun playing with friends or against people. So we will get there. But as you know, multiplayer and online multiplayer is one of the, I think, is one of the hardest in game development. So it takes more time for us to get there, right? Because there's a lot of technicalities, network infrastructures, stuff like that. So I want to shout out, if anybody have experience in game development in online multiplayer, we're more than happy to talk or stuff like that. So
Yeah, there you go.
that's
I personally think it would be incredibly fun to play a game like Axie Doll with my friends. So maybe not against my friends. I couldn't imagine how PvP would work. I'm sure it's possible, but I can imagine us somehow fighting a big boss in Axie Doll. I could literally see a bunch of content. I could really see that going viral on like TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, all that stuff. I'm not even kidding. Like, there's so much
thank
potential when you can play with friends, and really, I think that's when NFT gaming is gonna shine. When you can create wonderful times with the boys and girls, like that's it. That's what it's all
you.
about.
Yes, we're going there. We're definitely going there. I'm coming from that genre, so I'll do my best to go there. But aside from that, so single right now we can categorize that doll is a single player kind of game, right? You play and then you just try your best and then just perfect your score and your way through the leaderboard. Um, but I think just it's very crucial to adopt kind of an esport kind of mentality, that somehow how do we create some competitiveness out of this gameplay, the current gameplay, right? So that's why I've been experimenting with draft tournament in doll. If you don't know about draft is coming. I'm coming from Magic the Gathering. They have this draft tournament format. So basically, people do not need to own any cards from Magic the Gathering. They just need to go on draft tournament, and they will get this booster pack, right? And this booster pack, they just pick which one is the best. When they done, they pass it to the other player, and then from that card, they build a small deck and then they play. And I want to adopt this kind of
Mm.
mechanics, competitive mechanics. And I don't know, for me, I think it's been there's a lot of interest in this. I've tried a few times on this draft tournament format, And then we're lucky enough to have esport for everyone and Axie GG on board with us for this. So we had like almost a month ago that we had this tournament run organized by esport for everyone. So that was huge. Even one of the prize pool, Jiho kind of donated it 10 AXS for this one of them, for the
Nice.
prize pool. So we know that for now it's a single player kind of feel, but we're trying our best of what we have to create a competitive scene. But in the future, definitely it's one of my goals to create a online multiplayer game for Doll.
You know, I didn't even think of that. I think I saw that on your website, but that draft idea is really good. The only point of friction I can see in that is if I'm assuming you would be in different, let's say, game boards, right? Because it would be kind of weird if you were in the same one. Is that if I die in 30 seconds, do I have to wait like 4 minutes for my opponent to finish, or do you know how that would work?
Right. For now we're still the one that deciding what's the format gonna be. But yes, if you die, in order for you to start the next game, you have to wait for everybody else to finish. So why we do this is it looks really good on stream. Like when everybody start the game at the same time, four screen at the same time, it just look good. Like there's a lot of action going on, right?
Yeah.
So for now, we have our draft format needs at least four people because
Okay.
it's just
That's not bad.
nice, nicely done. It's good. So the competitiveness on this is that for now on Open Alpha we have 65 skills for Doll, right? We have 65 skills, and we are aiming to have we're aiming to have all six part from body and all the body from the Axie, right? So we're aiming for 192. So we're
That's a
still
lot. Guys, that's a lot of things to put in a video game. I don't care what the game is, it is a lot to debug and to add and effects and
Yeah.
sounds and everything. It's a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. But we're just happy to keep building, creating fun mechanics on the skills. But what happened is right now we already have 65 skills. And what's unique about this draft format is you have four people, and then the first player to pick the card. For instance, if you pick Timber, then the rest of the player cannot pick Timber. So that's where the competitiveness of yes, you will have a random card that you get, and then you just kind of try to build your own mini build on top of that. So if you pick Timber, the other players can't pick Timber anymore. So that kind of add more, kind of hopefully feel that this is kind of a multiplayer kind of feel. Hopefully that explains
Yeah, definitely. I really like that idea actually. I can't wait to try it out. But right now you do kind of have some sort of PvP. You do have a leaderboard, which
yes,
they're
we
not
do.
in game or anything, but it is pretty competitive. I see some posts on Twitter
Yes.
about people trying to climb and having like cool strategies and whatnot. But I do want to move to the next part of the show here, which we're going to talk about kind of the play to earn model and some tokenomics. So Axie Infinity is or maybe was a play to earn game. And I'm going to define play to earn real quick. Play to earn is when you play a video game and you earn a cryptocurrency token from playing. So recently, Axie Infinity's economy took a big hit, as well as pretty much every other crypto NFT game did. Do you think Axie Doll will ever be a quote unquote play to earn game, or are you guys going to take another approach?
Yeah, we're hoping to be a play and earn game kind of thing. So what happened is, as I said earlier, would be in our game we do not mint any tokens, right? In fact, on the on the contrary, that our game provided two types of burning mechanism for SLP, right? So for you to play in our rank mode, you will need to purchase our shield with an SLP, which some portion of that will be burned, kind of thing, right? So that's one, and then secondly would be we have this. skills in doll, and then you can upgrade them, right?
Oh, nice. All right, I'm liking. I'm liking
Yes,
this. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot.
yes. So for instance, I don't know if you play this, but like Timber in game, you can um the max level for now will be level 9 Timber. So if you like playing doll, and then you invest more time and invest more effort, and then invest an SLP to upgrade your Timber, and then in game you will you will get rewarded for that up max level of Timber or something like that. So that's the second kind of burn mechanism, right? For so it's very unique. We are very unique in terms of m- almost all the Web3 games. They have their own token, and minting their token and stuff like that, but we are kind of a different approach, that we don't mint any token, we don't have any token. In fact, on the contrary,
Yeah.
you we are providing to a burning mechanism. So
So you guys are actually contribute. I'm not gonna say contributing, but you guys are, as of right now, burning tokens and not actually producing any.
exactly.
In the future, do you plan to reward players via tokens, NFTs, or anything like that?
um yes, that was it, in through leaderboard. So basically, right? So
Yeah.
as I said earlier, that every time that you play, for instance, you purchase, don't quote me on this, right? So for instance, you will buy one shield for 100 SLP, right? What we have in mind would be 70% of that 100 SLP will be pulled to be a leaderboard reward. And what happened to the 30%?
Nice.
Or the 10%, of course, for the development team. 10% is for for burning or something like that. And we have this requirement as an ABP to have 10% goes to the treasury of Sky Mavis, because they're the one that has been you know helping us in growing and stuff like that. So 70% of what you paid will be pulled back to the leaderboard reward. So
Awesome.
imagine if people keep spending shield, right? Spending their SLP to
I
buy
could
shield.
I could burn 100 SLP buying
Thank
shields
you,
pretty
thank
quickly,
you,
like
thank you so
minimum
much.
100. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is just kind of, I think for us, for now, it hopefully it will sustain our kind of game economics kind of thing, right? So we're not minting anything. In fact, you are spending this much, and then we'll set aside the majority of that to be the leaderboard reward. So hopefully it'll be play and earn, not just for the sake of earning it.
Yeah. And guys, one real quick, I'm sure some people in here are gonna think, well, 10%, you're taking 10%, that's a lot. Guys, what you don't understand is that they have a team of developers. Developers usually have very in-demand skills. They can definitely work a Web2 job, get paid probably 100K plus easily. So, they're not working for free, guys. They have families to feed, they have rent to pay, everything like that. So I
Thank
I really support this 100%. If anyone thinks that they don't need the royalties, we'll say royalties because it's 10% or some arbitrary number. Like, come on, guys, be realistic here. They're not just gonna make all this for free and starve. So
thank you.
I do want to say that because it makes me really mad when people say that we should remove royalties. That's a big thing in the NFT space. Not really the gaming, but mostly like the profile pic thing, and it really makes me mad. So
Thank you,
yeah.
Nash, for that. Thank you. We are currently, we have developers working on doll. So yes, it will be great if we have the support from people on this.
Awesome. Now I want to talk a little bit about the how the Axie team kind of helped you with your economy. Did maybe anyone from Delphi Digital or the Sky Mavis team, anything like that? Did they talk to you about ways you could potentially use their tokens like SLP, AXS, Roan, anything like that? Or did you guys come up with this model personally?
We come up with the model from the get go, basically. So this is one of the thing that we know that we're gonna implement when we propose the builders program. So they know that we're coming with this, that we're gonna providing this kind of waste for people to burn their SLP and stuff like that. So yeah, we do have the liberty to come up with the unique ways to do it.
Nice. Do you think we'll ever see AXS in Doll working in some way, shape, or form?
Um, Interesting. This is something that we I need still need to discuss, right? So what happened is our grant money from, as you know, and this is a public information. If you're accepted to build this program, you will get a 10,000 US dollar grant in AXS form, right? And then from the get go, I already allocate this grant for, of course, the majority is for the game development because, we're working on this for the last 5 months,
Art,
full-time job
sound
for us,
effects, development, web development, and so much stuff. Yeah.
art and stuff like that, right? And social, yeah. And a portion of that I kind of personally want to reserve that this is I want to reserve this for our launch version, right? So a small portion of our grant money in AXS form will be the initial incentive for people to for the leaderboard reward. There will be an AXS form. So hopefully, so I think the initial plan would be in launch version, you will have this initial reward, this much of AXS reward. And on top of that, you will get that SLP accumulated from the shield purchase. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome. So it's kind of like a little extra for the top players, a little bit.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Got it. Now, we talked a little bit about the future plans that you have for Axie Doll, right? You said you're going to add a lot of new parts and there's going to be upgrades for the parts as well. Can we
Yes,
can we
sir.
ever expect some maybe new maps, enemies, bosses, anything like that?
Most definitely, most definitely. So right now, that what we have right now is I call it endless savanna. So our map, the one that people are playing for the past few months, is endless savanna. The way the map works is like a Pac-Man map. So if you just keep going right, you will eventually show up on on the left side. So it's like a Pac-Man work. So it's like an endless map. Wherever you go, you will loop back, right? So I don't know. I name it endless savanna because as the first one, right? So of course, in the future we will have more maps. We will have creepy forest, and
Ooh.
then we will have Arctic cave. Arctic cave will be um, a small area that is a small area instead of endless map. So it opens up another different kind of build required to survive here. And then hopefully we have more support from the community so we can keep building, and hopefully we can expand on the Genesis land or Mystic land or something like that. So yes, more maps are coming.
Awesome. No, that'd be so cool because I don't really say this, but I'm a big indie game fan. I prefer indie games over AAA titles, if I'm being honest. I'm just so tired of playing like kind of just slap together games, and I really think indie games have kind of a finesse to them. I don't really care for hyper realistic art. It's not really my thing. And I love playing Vampire Survivors. For those of
Oh,
you
love
guys, yeah, for those of
love
you
it.
that don't know, it's basically the same kind of style as Axie Doll. It's basically you're kind of imagine a circle on your map, and you have to hit everything's coming at you from every angle, and you just have to like
Love.
kill stuff, dodge stuff. It's very simple to play, and it's very fun,
Exactly.
very addicting, and quick too. So
I, I, yeah.
one thing I like about it is that it appeals to Gen Z, okay? And it's gonna sound weird at first, but people my age, Gen Z, we have the attention span of a literal peanut. And I always say this, like we need something constantly to keep us involved just because we grew up with like we were the iPad kid. We,
Yeah,
we grew up
yeah.
always with screens, always with new things like giving us serotonin or whatever it is, all that stuff. So what I really like about Axie Doll is that I could just hop in, play for 5 minutes, and then like I got my fix, right? I can do some work. I can open up a game, play for 5 minutes, all that. Like I wouldn't even be mad, and I'm not sure if this is even a possibility. I'm just tossing this out there. I wouldn't even be mad if after the game I could like watch an ad or something and get 10% extra rewards or 50%, rewards, whatever, something like that. Like for mobile games, that's so normal. And I think that Web3 There's nothing really wrong with ads. Yeah, we're decentralized, not really. Yeah, we're better than Web 2, but we need to get, money rolling into our ecosystems and our projects too. But I just really like how the game is so fast and there's so much you can do to like reward your players and monetize and do all this stuff. So I'm super excited to see what the future has. And
Thank you.
we talked a little
Awesome.
bit about like kind of Vampire Survivors, a Web 2 game. Do you have any projects in Web 3 that you have your eye on? Maybe some that you took inspiration from, stuff like that?
For doll, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, most definitely. A big shout out. A big shout out to Vampire Survivors and Magic Survival. Vampire Survivors and Magic Survival. So I think they are the one of the first two that just kind of introduced this new genre,
Yeah.
survival kind of type game. So a really huge shout out to both games. We drew a lot of inspiration from them, to be honest, and that's fine. That's just the how the thing works in games, at least, right? So we just inspire from their game, and then we put our own twist, and then we put some our own flavor, and then just and for me, it's just perfectly fit for Axieverse, right? Because you have this unique parts, and then hunting the unique parts is one of the fun part in Axie. Finding those one that has that six part that you really want with a specific class, specific body utility body. That is one of the fun part, at least for me. So utilizing that into this kind of type of game, I think it will be fun, right? In Vampire Survivors, you have around 15 or 20 skills last time I played, but in Axie Doll,
Oh yeah.
you will have 192.
That's so many.
I know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy. Honestly, I'm excited to see that. Do you have any games in Web 3 that you have your eye on?
Oh, you mean the one that I'm playing?
Uh
That I'm
other games. Like are you a fan of any other games? Nifty League,
right,
Blankos
right.
Block Party, anything like that?
See, this is no, this is the thing though. I'm the for me, I always know the way I work. I always laser focus. All the projects that I did, it's there's a plus and minus on this, but I always laser focus whenever I take on projects. So I think for the last 4 or 5 months when I start developing doll, I've been so laser focused on doll that I kind of like just I just block out any other type of chit chat in my social media and all that. So no, for the past 5 months, I haven't played any other Web3. Just been focusing on building this.
Just
Yeah,
hard grinding.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay. And then I know Axie Infinity's ecosystem is very closed off at the moment, and you're pretty tightly bound to them, right? I think there's a lot of rules that comes along with being on the Ronin chain, especially carrying the Axie name. Can we ever
sure.
expect a collab or some type of partnership with anything like maybe inside or outside of Ronin?
Oh well, I'm looking forward for that. I'm really looking forward to explore that kind of a collab. If 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 Sky Mavis, if Phil allow us to do this, we want to explore this. I will definitely jump on it, right? So it'll be, for instance, it'll be great if we can collab with Sappy Seal, and then basically we
Hmm.
can create a unique boss encounter in our game that it's a Sappy Seal kind of invasion that Axie needs to defend and stuff
Oh,
like that. We can create a unique skills for each of those Sappy Seals boss and stuff like that. So if we do have the chance to do that collab, I would jump on that.
oh man, yeah. Shout out to Sappy Seals, man.
I mean,
Those guys are the best, right? But
yes.
man, that would be crazy. And the reason why that's crazy is because Axie is such a valuable IP right now. A lot of people may disagree with me, but no matter what you say, they have a lot of value to like VCs, brands, everything like that. They're very recognizable. They're very liked by a lot of people. May not be by you, but they definitely are. So like putting your project or your character into the Axie world is an extremely big deal. And I'm really excited to see, what the first kind of company or character or brand that's going to do that. Like I'm excited to see that.
I
Now,
know. Yeah. Hopefully, we will get the chance to do that. Actually, quick question with for you though. Since we're discussing this, would you be more interested in having if we get to collab with Sappy Seal just if right?
yeah.
Would you be more interested having an Sappy Seal becoming this a boss encounter in Axie Doll that Axie has to defeat, or would you be rather have the Sappy Seal to be the sidekick for the Axie? So the sap
Mm,
this the Sappy Seal will follow your Axie around,
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
having cosmetic only. But which one would you? A quick question on that,
Okay.
because I know you're.
So I want the Sappy Seal to follow you around. For those of you that don't know what a sidekick is the thing we were talking about earlier. It's just a cosmetic that follows your character around. Doesn't currently do anything. What I'd
A
want it
pet,
to
like a
do is,
yeah, of
yeah, what I want it to do is follow the character around. But if I already own a Sappy Seal, I'm not going to want to pay for this, if that makes sense.
course, of
Yeah.
course.
So it's going to be a little tough to like bring a token into the Ronin ecosystem that's still on Ethereum and like have it in the right wallet, all that stuff. It's going to be confusing, but I'm sure that could work and it would get really good. Like it would get a lot of eyes from the profile picture and the DeFi and the other spaces of crypto onto Ronin. That could actually be a huge onboarding tool that I just thought of right now. But yeah, I would want my PFP NFT or my other type of NFT to follow around. I think it would be really cool if you also did some type of boss or enemy or some type of theme. For example, you have, let's say, Cyberkong land. I
Ooh,
guarantee Cyberkongs love Axie Infinity, and they're already pixelated too. So,
nice.
I mean, maybe there's a Cyberkong level in the future. Who knows? I think that would be the perfect collab. The
That'll be
Kongs are
great.
attacking, or you are a Kong, you're defending stuff. Who knows?
That'll be great.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for future founders of Web3 games, or maybe someone who's looking to get into the Axie Infinity Builders program? Any advice for them or kind of wisdom you want to shed onto them after doing it yourself and being very successful so far?
Thank you. We're very happy for that. Yes, I think my advice will be just keep hustling. Um, it's okay. Just keep being rejected over and over. It's fine. I've been rejected hundred of times. So just keep hustling. You know your vision. You know what you need to deliver those. Just go out there and then find those people that can help you to build together with you. So just keep hustling. Uh, yeah, I like to get an answer, a no for an answer. It just gives me more fuel to just keep going. Right. So yeah, man, keep hustling, and then you'll get there.
That's literally the entire theme of the Axie Infinity team. Like they built throughout the entire 2018, 2017 bear market. They're still here today in 2022. They just kept going and it's really paid off. They are the biggest, by far, the biggest Web3 NFT game that we have seen and probably will see for at least until the end of 2022. I could pretty much guarantee that. Now, I want to ask you a few things about what you think the future of NFT gaming is going to look like. So right now, we've seen a lot of, I'm not going to say pyramid schemes or anything like that, but we've seen a lot of economies blow up, frankly.
Mhm.
Where do you see NFTs fitting in the future of gaming?
Okay, so this is just for me. I fell in love in crypto and blockchain in their technology, right? So yes, when I approached this Web2 game developers, I received a lot of rejection, and most of them have this really bad connotation regarding our environment Web3. So I'm asking them, hey, do you want to be our co-founder for this Web3 game, stuff like that? And then they will just reply like, oh, you're in crypto? Okay, good luck with your loss. They still have this bad
Like,
connotation. exactly. I have a lot of that response actually. So what I'm, I just fell in love with their technology. So when I got that kind of rejection, I ignored them. It's just that because I know it's the blockchain technology and NFT and stuff like that. They're not trying to solve $1 billion problem, which is a scam industry, right?
Yeah.
The scam industry, of MLM. Do you know MLM, right? Right. But
Multi-level
yeah,
marketing, I think.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that scamming, con stuff like that, that's a multi-billion-dollar problem, and blockchain are not built to solve that. So of course there will be bad actors in our ecosystem. So I'm not focusing on that. What we focus is just this true ownership, composability. Sorry for my accent, but
You're good.
you know what I mean. Composability, true ownership, and then and of course blockchain are trying to they're just trying to solve a double spending problem, right? They're just with this blockchain, they have this true ledger open, open for everybody. It's basically just solving the double spending problem in math, in finance, right? So they're not trying to solve that kind of scam kind of industry. So for me, I believe in the technology, and it's very, I'm very, very, really love the way they solve this kind of problem, right? Through ownership, this and that, decentralized and all that. So I really believe in that. So I'll just keep going, keep building stuff on whenever it is. And I think one of the piece of advice that, if I may add, would be during this bear period, I think is the perfect time for you to build. This is the perfect time for you to find your significant others in terms of co-founders, right? Significant others. It's the perfect time for you to find your co-founders, because those people are the one that want to be in the bad. They want to be in the bad worst condition ever, right? So when you're successful, they should be the will be the rewarded the most, right? If you're successful, I mean, like, if we are in the bullish market, everybody want to be your co-founders,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So it's
that's
the
very
tough
true.
part to find partners that want to be, in what you I don't know how do you call this in English, but it's just through worse or bad or something like that, right? So find a partner that wants to be with you in the worst way, in the worst and bad place, stuff like that.
Find someone who's, when stuff gets hard, they're still going to be there tomorrow.
Exactly,
They're going to
man.
keep going. They're not
This
going
is
to
the
give up.
best part for us. And
Yeah,
then yeah.
exactly. I want to talk a little bit about the decentralization part of Web3 and crypto. A lot of talk and people believe that Sky Mavis and specifically the Ronin blockchain are a very centralized chain. And I'd agree with them. Do you think Ronin's a very centralized chain? And do you think this is necessarily a bad thing? Because a lot of people are arguing that decentralization isn't necessarily needed for video games. So I'd like to know if you think Ronin's kind of decentralized or more decentralized, if it's a centralized or more decentralized chain, and if you think it
Right.
really matters for the future of Web3 gaming.
Yes, I am fully aware that for now they are centralized chain for now, and it's a for good reason though,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Because we're still this in the early stage of the development in terms of the blockchain are still, in the early stage. So it's needed to have this kind of, what do you call this, a centralized vision on where we should take things, right, in the future. So, and as you know, currently they are using POA, proof of authority. So that's why they have this, what do you call it, validators, and they are
Yeah, yeah,
expanding on that, right? They're setting on 18 or 23 or something like that. They just
yeah. Google
onboarded
Cloud.
Google as one of the validators.
Yeah,
Exactly. So of course it's centralized for now for good reason, but they have that vision. Eventually they will switch from POA, proof of authority, into proof of stake when they know that their ecosystem has that mature cycle kind of thing. So
yeah. That's funny because actually Cardano's proof of stake, which is by the way completely blowing up right now. We're not going to get into that though. Ethereum just merged to proof of stake, and then eventually Ronin is going to go to proof of stake. So proof of stake must be there must be something special with that. I don't know all the you know innings and outings of it, but I think I think that's what a lot of blockchains are going to recently, and
Yes,
maybe in the
yes.
future. So I guess we'll see about that. Do you think that the future of Web3 gaming should or should not be decentralized, or do you think it's not that big of a deal?
Um,
I'll give you my
it's
opinion real quick.
okay. Good.
I personally think that for video games specifically, they need constant updates. They need constant people making new art, new things, new content, new everything pretty much. To do that, it'd be extremely hard to decentralize things. I think you can decentralize a server and where the data is stored, that's fine. But to have a fund and then to let the community decide what gets built and when and where to allocate funds, I personally don't think that's going to work. Guys, people are paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to work with the finances for large companies to make these games like what they are today. Call of Duty is a
Hmm.
lot harder to make than you think, and there's plenty of employees who are making it. I personally don't think decentralization is really needed in video games, even though it really does kind of go against the whole ethos of Web3. It's just, I don't think it really fits with games because it needs so much attention. And I really want to know what you think about that.
Right. I think for me, I cannot answer that or where is it gonna go, but I think we will eventually hit that sweet spot where is of course, for now it's because it's still in the early phase. For now, everybody is still centralized kind of thing, but we don't know what we have in the future. But we do have the tools to go there. I would just say that as of now, I would think that we are still in the early phase, similarly to what we have back in the MySpace area. Do you aware of MySpace, a way before Facebook,
I never had
right?
it, but I remember it.
I know, but it's something, right? It's something that the one of the first social media, right? People like really, really, really excited about that. But if you if you ask people back then, if you ask a MySpace co-founder, would you have the vision of what will be the live streaming gonna be? They will have no ideas on that, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
they
true.
don't know how they still have those a lot of steps. There are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then they have that Netflix kind of live streaming era. But what I mean is, we're still in that MySpace. We do have the tools for people to innovate and create that next gen Web3 product for us. We do have that tools, but we still don't have a vision or where it's going to be. But definitely we will hit that spot where the centralization and decentralization are they're happy living in a good ratio.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. We don't even know really the boundaries of where decentralization and gaming can go. So it could be in the next 2 or 3 years, something insane that comes out, a great idea, a great model, and now everyone wants to be decentralized game and stuff like that. And hey, if we have the legal framework and it works, all that, more power to you. I'd say it's better than worse, right? For
Mhm.
decentralization, I mean, that kind of helps us out.
Yep, yep, yep.
Alrighty, so the last thing I really want to ask you here, and we are getting to the end of the interview now, is when you started Axie Doll, right? You went to the builders program. Uh, what is your very end goal for Axie Doll? Is it a game that's going to be around forever that you're going to support forever? Is it something that's going to be like the number one game on Ronin? Are we going to go to the multiplayer or maybe to battle royale? Can you tell me about what like the end goal is here and the do all be all?
Right. Yes. One of our goal is just to be a fun game first, kind of to have that kind of gameplay, and then I'm sure when if we have that kind of element, the others can follow. In terms of people will play our game, they're willing to spend more money into our game, which means it will create more rewards for our game. Hopefully, that ecosystem going right, and then yeah, so we hopefully will be that game that everybody's willing to play casually, uh, but at the same time we hopefully we will have more competitive kind of thing. So we're hoping for that. But the much broader goal would be just we will not stop in one game, right? So as you know, when you launch all your game features, yes, you still need to do that maintenance, upkeep, and stuff like that. But game developers are like an artist, right? They
Yeah.
need to create their next painting, their next masterpiece, something like that. So yes, we still maintain and upkeep and update and everything, but that's when where we come up with other, just the way like Supercell is. Supercell from
Well, here, let's
uh
not even use Supercell, right? Let's use Axie Infinity. They're
exactly,
literally,
same it
it's
is.
their whole, the reason why they're called Axie Infinity is because they're supposed to have infinite possibilities with their Axies. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, land is supposed to be a big part of that. So
Hmm.
even let's say Axie Doll's, we're going to say roadmap is finished. There's still so many possibilities that can happen, not only with Axies, but with Axie Doll too. It could be on land, it could be in the origin game, it could be just Axie Doll as its own separate thing. There's so
Hmm.
much that you can actually do, and it really goes with the whole Axie Infinity kind of ethos of unlimited possibilities with your NFT, infinite
I agree.
possibilities. Sorry, had to get
Yes,
that
yes, sir.
buzzword in there.
Yes, yes, yeah. So we're hoping to achieve that. So we're gonna focus on Doll delivering, showing people that we can deliver what we are putting in our roadmap, and then from there, if we have the trust from the community, from the public, then we can keep going. Building of what we like the most. Just creating more fun games.
Awesome. All right. Well, Eli, that is going to be it for this interview here. Go ahead and before we end, tell us one more time where we can find you. Twitter, YouTube, Discord, all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then give us a little call to action. What do you want us to do to help you out and help Axie Doll get to as many eyes and as many players as possible?
Thank you. So you can, if you interested in our game, you can follow our Twitter is at Axie Doll, and if you want to follow me personally, my name is Tio Trianto, so it'll be at Tio Trianto in Twitter. So yeah, really glad that thank you for Nash for inviting us here. I'm sorry that I'm using my kid's laptop, so it has his name Elix there, but
No problem.
but yeah, thank you. We're very happy to talk to you. So
Yeah, of
thank you,
course.
Nat.
Let's run this back again in a few months, and I'm sure there'll be
Yeah.
a lot of stuff done. I'm gonna wait for
Thank
198 parts,
you. Yes.
right?
Yes. 192 for all the body.
192.
192.
All right,
Yes.
guys, we are going to close out. Once again, this is Farmer Nash. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to smash the subscribe button and leave a comment for who you'd like to see on the show next. We get founders, we get projects, we get games, we get everybody. So, just like that, we are out. Like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe.